Recognize the member for St. John Lancaster.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, we're all aware of the tragedy of children dying in care in our province, a problem that extends back decades, but most certainly demands action today. Mr. Speaker, can the Minister of Social Development answer this question? How many children have been in care in New Brunswick over the last 20 years?
The Honourable Minister of Families and Children.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. It's always a great opportunity to stand on such a topic. Our number one priority as this government will always be families and children. We've always said that. We have committees in place. We have the Child Death Review Committee. We have the Child and Youth Advocate. We have the Chief Coroner's Office, all working together with the government, with stakeholders, with the province of New Brunswick. We want to make this a priority. We will continue to listen to New Brunswickers. We will ask that if they have submissions to make this process better, but we are doing well. We are doing much better than we did 10, 15 years ago. We will continue to do so. We are open to suggestions, and we will want to make this place the best place to live, work, and raise a family, Mr. Speaker.
Member for St. John Lancaster.
Well, let me help the Minister out, Mr. Speaker. Given the turnover rate, we can assume that approximately 10,000 New Brunswick kids have spent time in care over the last 20 years. There have been 53 deaths during that time. The Minister has said, and just said, that the system in New Brunswick is excellent. The Minister has said we should not be concerned because some of these deaths were accidents. Can the Minister please tell this House the rate of child deaths in Canada?
The Honourable Minister of Families and Children.
Again, Mr. Speaker, we're not perfect. The Premier has said it. We have said it in this House. We are continuing to work hard. The people at Social Development and the people around the province are giving suggestions to make this process better. You know, I hear the member opposite talking about what they would have done. Well, I can remember her words were they dropped the ball. We're not going to drop the ball, Mr. Speaker. We're going to continue to work with the New Brunswickers. We're going to continue working with our committees. We know this is a tragedy. Any parent losing a child is tragic. We know that. Our number one priority as a government will be to the children and families, and we'll continue to do so.
Member for St. John Lancaster.
Mr. Speaker, the rate of child death from accidents in Canada is 4 per 100,000. That means the rate of death is 30 to 40 times higher among kids in care in New Brunswick than it is the general population. Mr. Speaker, the minute the minister takes the oath of office, he has responsibilities, the same responsibility as parents for these most vulnerable kids. It appears the minister and the premier have not been motivated to ask or apparently to care about these basic questions. And yet the premier spoke today about the value of our legislative officers. Will the minister at this late date fast-track legislation to allow the Child and Youth Advocate to take action to fix this long-standing problem?
The Honourable Minister of Families and Children.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I can reassure not only the members opposite, the people of the province of New Brunswick, we take our job very seriously and will continue to do so. I am very proud to be the Minister of Social Development with Children and Families. We work hard with our stakeholders. We work hard with our committees. When suggestions are made or recommendations are made, we have acted on 100% of our recommendations, and that's not all we're going to do. We're going to continue to work with our stakeholders. Losing a child in New Brunswick is very serious. We take that very seriously. People at Social Development continue to work on a daily basis. From what the member opposite is stating is so out there. I don't know what the proper word or the legislative word here to make it.
Kodiak will come to order.
We continue. We have listened to the Youth Advocate. They have agreed that they don't have the proper resources to deal with this, so the Child Death Review and the Chief Coroner's Office do, and they continue to do a great job.
Time, Minister.